All right, all right. I know it's been a while since I've been here. Kind of lost my flow a little bit, but we're getting back to work. We're getting back to work. And so I'm actually surprised this video didn't go viral. At least with the Manosphere, I would expect them to do all these crunching down and dissecting it. I was waiting for Obsidian to touch this, and I was shocked that he didn't even touch it. But maybe the Black Manosphere has gotten Rebecca Lynn Pope fatigue. I mean, this bitch is tiring and tiresome. So she's going on this rant about how modern men are so sassy and they're so opinionated, but yet they're broke. They have all these opinions, but they don't do anything. They got all these kids they don't take care of. But the start of this conversation from Rebecca Lynn Pope was about how women can't keep their legs closed for the wrong guy.
Well, hello. Happy Saturday. We are winding down our 30-day marketing live challenge, and I'm coming on with just a couple thoughts, especially after our first night of Q&A in the Divine Dating Workshop. There were lots. We did almost 3 hours of Q&A. Guys, everybody had a lot of questions. It was really, really great dialogue.
Let me guess what the questions were. How can I secure a guy who makes 6 figures, which I'm not even upset about? Why are men always asking for sex on first dates? How come men aren't respecting celibacy at my late age of 35? And how come men are less accepting of women with kids?
Some of the questions really got me to thinking about some of the things that I know I need to address and express to help the ladies. So this video is for the ladies. Ladies, number one, nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. So what I'm feeling inside of dating class when I'm answering questions, and a lot of the energy behind some of the questions, is this pressure you feel because society has created this false sense that vagina is not valuable anymore, that sex doesn't matter, that if...
Oh, slow down, Miss Pope, or Dr. Pope, or whatever you go by. Okay, the sex from at least the B-dub is less valuable because we're constantly getting what? Syphilis and herpes and HIV outbreaks. You guys are leading in those areas. And seeing the quality of dudes that y'all sleep with, 9 times out of 10 they're somehow abusive, whooping your ass, or putting you in a off the shelf. And it makes us think that you like the treatment, there's no helping you guys, and altogether, why even fucking bother? So even when you guys wise up in your mid-30s talking about celibacy and all this shit, it damn nearly doesn't even fucking impress us, because where was the where was the respect for chastity when you was in your 20s or even in your teens at that? So yes, your box is damn near worthless.
Don't have sex, a man won't want you. And
the thing is with her is that she's actually finger waving black men for doing this towards women. It's not more so of her teaching women how men think. It's more of men should be more fucking accepting of your flaws in your past, because these niggas ain't shit.
Get that it still matters. Your vagina matters. If you're being abstinent or celibate, you don't have to talk about that right away for fear of not laying down a boundary. You simply can talk about that when you're comfortable and when you're ready to talk about that. The difference that you have to be able to make clear in your mind is to understand that there are the men who are going to see your worth and value you, and there are men who value women, and then there are men who do not. And the men who do not value women, the men who
Or SYSBM, passport bros.
want sex, the men who are out here just running through women.
Actually, she's more so talking about the select fuck boys that women just can't resist. You know, she can't resist these dudes who do them wrong, and they wake up looking like this. Oh my God, Jamal has a second baby mama. He only told me he had one. Oh my God, how did he get another girl pregnant when he was with me for 7 months? And you females don't learn. I don't give a fuck about your degrees or this accomplishments or you even owning a business. This priceless look of not understanding men is why you guys are losing in almost every goddamn demographic. And only winning on demographics that will make you horrible. Like the STD rates.
Are not husband material men. And sad.
And the thing is that men are fucking tired of trying to claw and pull black women and try to be like, these are non-select guys over here who are doing good for themselves. Why can't you link up with them? And bitches will run down the line. And this is when they're in a good mood. They'll say that the dude doesn't have no swag. He's not 6'2" and above. He there's no riz about him. If I date him, you know, and truth be told, a lot of females are actually afraid to eat black women, or actually afraid to date non-select guys, even if they have a good connection with them. And 9 times out of 10, they actually do. Don't get it mistaken, like non-select guys are like these white incels that have no fucking experience. This is not true. A non-select guy is not comparable to a white incel troll that you would see on YouTube or 4chan or Reddit. A non-select guy, truth be told, has experience. It doesn't always mean that he's a virgin or that he never really had a girlfriend. Even if he never had a girlfriend, he's had experiences. And so, fuck, I kind of forgot where I was going with this. But I'm just saying that a lot of these chicks will have a good connection with these guys, but here's the thing that fucks it up. It's because those guys don't have a value, and women are quick to shame other women for looking at these dudes. So even if you had a good relationship, really it just takes one girl to be like, why are you dating that cornball? Why are you dating that lame guy? And those females that I've been through, those females, even if they don't do it to your face, they'll definitely do it to the woman's face and shame them everywhere. And what's stupid is that these broads fall for it. They fall for it. They fall for the you know, the words. They fall for the tricks. I'm like, if you have you're black. You're a black woman at that. You have a dude that's willing to marry you, and you're this close to the finish line of getting out of the realm of being a statistic. The statistic of being a single mom, the statistic of being unmarried, an unmarried black woman, and dying alone. You're so far, you're so close in getting out of that race. You're so close to getting out of that threshold of being a black statistic. A black female statistic at that, and they fucking ruin it. And they're like fuck it. Let me just go backwards. And these females will just let other females fuck up the relationship. And it happens so many times. A black woman's fear is dating a non-select guy and he checks the boxes. That is black woman's biggest fear.
A lot of what gets gets expressed, a lot of what gets highlighted, a lot of what goes viral on social media is from men who do not value the love and partnership, family, and marriage. So that means,
excuse me, which is a myth. If men didn't care about marriage, we wouldn't even be on YouTube since the mid 2000s, and that's the earliest recordings since the dawn of YouTube. We wouldn't even be talking about trying to rebuild the black family, rebuild the community. These were conversations that we've had since the mid 2000s. And even you, Rebecca Lynn Pope, are piggybacking off of what the black manosphere built, even to the predecessors of MGTOW. We even had Kevin Samuels, who in his more recent early career was trying to get black women to at least marry up and mobile, successful black men. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't fucking do it. They couldn't do it because they wanted to compete with the dudes, with the men. They just kind of wanted to be lazy. They couldn't do it because they just didn't have the appearance. They couldn't do it because they had kids. And they couldn't do it because of their fucking attitude. Hell, even when it got to the, and I'll always say that this was the most important fucking show. And this show was like, what, 5 hours? And he usually gets afraid of doing shows that damn long. He had a show to where he was asking pro-black men. I have all these black nerds here. Well-to-do, no kids, educated, makes decent money. How come, what do you expect these non-select guys to do if black women don't want them? And all the answers all these niggas were talking about was giving us practically the same answers Dr. Umar was just giving them. Just get more swag, just get more confidence, just get someone else. You know, for a group of women who always say that they don't give a fuck about what anyone's opinions are, you guys are always you guys are always weak as fuck. When another woman questions you about why you're with that educated lane. I'm actually surprised that Russell Wilson and Sierra is fucking lasting as long as it is. But it's really just because Russell Wilson's a football player. So even though he has the aesthetics of an EL or a church boy, which he is, overall he's fairly tall enough, even though he's not 6'3" or anything. I think he's like 5'11" or 5. Yeah, I think he's like 5'11" or some shit. But it's just he just plays a black masculine career. He has a black masculine career, which is football and playing sports. So it compensates. But you know, if Russell Wilson was like a $1 million business mogul, you know, maybe Sierra would have looked at him, but he would have to have a status to where he's prone and used to. He's prone and used to dating celebrity women.
That ladies, you hear a lot of garbage, you hear a lot of junk out here that gets you so discouraged because you feel like there's not good men. You feel like, you know, that you've got to somehow bend on your boundaries. You've got to bend on, you know, what it is you're expecting. You've got to bend on how you show up. And the reality is what you have to understand, because I said this in class the other night, is that men who are marriage material versus these men in these streets who are out here like peacocks, like they're the prize, are like apples and oranges. First of all, your husband material men are not even hardly on social media.
Oh, which is a lie, because you would really. it can go either way. I get where she's trying to go, but this is that criticism of you men who criticize me are effeminate and sassy because you should be working 80 hours a week instead of focusing on little old me. No, we're criticizing you because you give bad advice.
I've raised 3 grown sons. All 3 of my sons are hardworking young men.
But she won't mention who are these sons. She won't mention the girls, the type of girls her son are bringing, and I can bet you they're not black girls. I'd probably bet you only one black girl has been in the house, and she probably was only there for like a month. I can bet you her sons are bringing home Latinas and white girls. I can bet you that. I can fucking bet you that they're bringing home Latinas and white girls, and that's their preference. You know, Rebecca Lynn Pope has to probably like twist their fucking arm to get to get them to even like a black girl, even if she's light skinned.
Either in school full time, working full time, and have businesses on the side. All 3 of them are rarely on social media.
Well, if they all have businesses, you guys would need to have a social media, and you would need to be on it constantly, because especially for a small business, people aren't going to really know about it. You know, you're literally competing against well-known and established franchises that have been in business for 20 to 50 years. Some even been there since the dawn of America. So, yeah, you would actually need to have social media.
Why? Because they don't have time to be on social media, because the good men who are marriage material are not...
See, this is her warped mind into thinking that black men, especially black men, you don't have a right to rest. You don't have a right to fucking take it easy, enjoy your comfort, enjoy your masculinity at the frame and at the pace of your desire. She in her mind, she is thinking of a gynocentric slavery to where black men are in the fucking fields cotton picking or sharecropping all fucking day and night, and they only come inside either to sleep or drink water. And that's her warped mentality. And you know, now that you're in an age to where people can work at home, or you know, you got a fucked up economy to where people aren't working as long or as hard as they should or as they want to, black men are fucking blamed for that. Meanwhile, these black bitches are the one voting for the worst policies for the worst candidates to be president. And they're wondering why the fuck gas prices are fucking $4.60 to the gallon.
Sitting on these apps and on these sites shooting the shit all day. I've said this before.
Shooting the shits all day. Shooting the shit all day. It is funny how us black manosphere niggas, we always get these little bitches and these tizzies. They're always angry. They're always stressed out at us because they know that we're hurting their fucking business. And look, one thing is, we're actually not even really leading and hurting their business. They're actually doing it for us because she's the one giving bad advice. And low key, the manosphere actually used to like Rebecca Lynn Pope. But this woman is just another crazy old hag that wants you to believe that men aren't doing enough. Black men are just lagging behind between other races, which is a fucking myth, which was a myth I'll break down later, either today or in another video. This whole concept that other races of men are like leaps and bounds ahead of us is true and false at the same time. Don't let these black women lead you into believing that other races of men are doing whatever they want. Or not doing. Or allowing their woman to do whatever they want to do. Whether it's like if she wants to buy a new Mercedes S-Class, he'll just buy it with no questions. they're thinking that these other races of men are like these big old tricks that just listen and adhere to their women without any question. That is a fucking falsality. A lot of other races, hell, I might as well just do it now. A lot of other races of people, especially immigrants who just came here, first generation, a lot of their relationships are like 40, 60, 50, 50. But a lot of black women like to shame us for doing the 50-50 model is because they want niggas to fucking pay for their trips and live a trick lifestyle while men do all the work and they go on go on these little girl trips, or they can't be bothered to do anything. Don't let them fool you into believing that these females are going to they're going to be housewives and they're going to be taking care of the kids and cleaning all day. I'm like, nah. It's like, nah, it don't take that fucking long to clean. You don't need to be with the kids that damn long. These chicks are fucking lazy. Hell, these bitches are complaining nowadays of how they don't want kids, or they want kids when they're 48 or 50. So what? Why does she need to be a housewife in her 20s and 30s if she's planning on having kids in her 50s? That don't make any sense to me. But anyways, like for instance, in the military, you will actually have guys who are like E2s. You know, they come in as an E2, and they're making probably like, you know, because they get paid every 2 weeks. So an E2 probably will be making like $800 every 2 weeks. And if he's married, he gets a couple extra hundred. And then if he has kids or dependents, that's more money. But let's just say, even if with all that, let's just hypothetically say that with his wife and his dependents, he's only making 3,000 a month, if that. He ain't got much rank on him, but he has TRICARE, free healthcare, where his family, even if it's as simplistic as his little kid gets a boo boo and he needs bandages, or he just needs a quick examine of a weird infection that he saw, you know, on his kid's arm or some shit, or ear. He can go. He can take the kids to the fucking military clinic for fucking free anytime he wants. And that's a luxury, especially in today where people are paying $400 a month per person for a fucking plan. So even though, granted, that dude may not be making a big set of money, those little junior enlisted couples stay, especially when they're young, and they be young, they be like 22, 19. Some of these niggas ain't even old enough to drink. And the hustle is that while these guys are, these young dudes are collecting the benefits, and they're not making a big set of money. And 9 times out of 10, they'll probably waste most of their money on alcohol and a tricked out car. And that's if his wife ain't putting no boundaries on that shit. But, even though he's not making no big set of money, it's the benefits, like the healthcare and all that shit, and other free services. And sometimes, and really not even sometimes, the chick can get a job on base. She can be a librarian or a teacher, or, work at the BX or something. And here's the thing. The wife can get free education from simply just being this dude's wife. No matter the rank. Even if he's an E2. She will get his GI Bill or Montgomery or whatever. And she will go to school for nursing, to be a lawyer, or, earn her real estate license. And, she'll probably make 50 eventually after she graduates or whatever. She'll probably be making around 50 to 60K. And even though her junior enlisted husband may have gotten the ranks up to where now you know, he's an E4, but he still has he's probably making whatever. Maybe they don't really get paid too much. So let's just say he's probably making barely 4,000. Maybe now now they're making a little bit more money, and and the thing is, this is what Congress just now passed, is that if he gets orders to go to another city, I mean not another city, another state. Let's say he's stationed in Georgia, but he has to go to Texas, and his wife has this like a practitioner license only for that state. The military will pay to get her re-educated and get her certified, get her state certified in a new state she'll live in. A lot of these people, overall, I know I'm kind of boring you guys, but a lot of people are not living this trick lifestyle of women getting whatever the fuck they want to get. People can understand that there's certain aspects and privileges that a dude can get, and there's certain assets and privileges that a woman can get. A lot of races understand this shit. That's why they're not gender warring as hard as us. And they can put their differences aside and use each other's benefits. Like I said, like in the military example. The guy ain't making a lot of money, but he comes with a lot of benefits that can lead for the education, schooling, and healthcare. Meanwhile, while she's studying and has all the time in the world to study and do whatever the fuck she wants to, and she now, once he's out the military, let's just say he does 6 years, once he's out the military, he can chill, and now she can be, the fucking breadwinner. And these dudes can relax and be like, hey, I did my years. I'm tired. I need rest. I need to recuperate. I'm thinking about going to school my damn self as well. Let me take a 4-year break while I go to school. And then I'll let my wife lead in the income since she is now the breadwinner. And people can understand this. They can work together. They can lead, and they don't have to worry about some bullshit that we assume that white people do, which is a complete fucking myth. And this is the problem with women like Rebecca Lynn Pope, who is making all these complaints about black men only. And she's wondering why her own advice doesn't get her clients to get with white dudes. And it's like, oh, it's because you're teaching them fucking wrong. Because you don't know white people. You're thinking white people are patriarchal when in fact they're matriarchal. Why do you think you have all this feminism shit running wild? You think white men didn't think that? You don't think they're allowing that shit? Of course they're matriarchal. That's the myth that white people want us to believe, is that they're patriarchal, and you wouldn't get it. You got it wrong. That's why you gotta watch the movie, and this is something that I've learned from my mentor. You gotta watch the movie Tyler Perry, The House That Prays. Not the house, the family that prays. You gotta watch that movie because it will help you understand how white people operate, and it's not through the men, it's through the women. Just like you saw the old hag, who double. It wasn't even a double cross. It was like a triple cross her son, because her son was trifling and trying to siphon money and shit for his sexual escapades. Meanwhile, white Ma Dukes had a loophole to where she was able to sacrifice a tiny percentage of her business, of her stockholding, to her black female friend who doesn't even know anything about business. And she knew her friend wouldn't do shit. and wouldn't even know what to do with the fucking $1 million. And now she's back at the boss. Now she's back as the head of the company at the end. And what's crazy was that this same woman was teaching her daughter-in-law how to do the same thing, how to trifle these ain't good, no good ass white men. That's how they operate. And black folks are like still doing these theoretical understanding of white people and other races of men. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Most men understand that women are more, they can get more ahead in America. You know, they can go ahead, they can get further with their businesses, with their education than men, because men, there's no funding for men to do anything. Truth be told, men in America are really just kind of bred to work for fucking free. Truth be told.
They're out working hard. They're out building their businesses. They're out working hard on their jobs. They're taking care of their families. They're taking care of their mothers. They're taking care of their kids. They're washing their cars, building a deck. They're at Home Depot. Of course, my son called me right when I'm talking. So good men who are husband material men, and so, you know, if men tune into this video and you live on YouTube and you live on these apps, I'm going to say your testosterone is low. Testosterone is low, fellas, if you're sitting on these apps all day long and you're not out doing things, getting it, being productive, if you're not out chasing your goals, purpose, greater purpose for your life, if you don't have goals, if you don't have things you're working on, your
This what kills me with black women in this whole, you need goals, black men. And the thing is that when you're on your shit and you are a black man who is on your grind, you have goals, you have a realistic path to get there. It's funny how these black women are nowhere to be found, truth be told. And they'll get with guys whose goals are like, and really these guys don't even give a fuck about their education. These women will be with guys who barely have a GED. And I've heard some crazy stories of females, you know, trying to pay for, you know, their boyfriend's books. They're trying to get them to get a GED. They're trying to get them to get at least an associate's at a community college or whatever. And I'm just scratching my head. I'm like, well, why are you doing this? You are in a sorority, and this is a true story. You're in a sorority. You're doing all these business trips with the per diem and all that, and you're chasing after a dude with kids, and you don't have kids. You're chasing a dude with kids. And he's doing everything in his power to not see you, and you're also paying his rent. And I was just scratching my head. I was like, and it's like, I hate this narrative because it makes it seem like all these black men they're just no good, and we're just like, what happened to? And I wish one thing is, I really want to ask black women. Do you remember the non-select guy? Do you remember the nerdy guy in high school? Do you remember the guy that couldn't date anyone in college? What do you think he's doing now? I really want to ask that question to women. Like, what do you think that nerdy guy is doing now? What do you think he's doing?
Testosterone is low. If you're sitting around watching porn all day, playing video games, or sitting on social media all day, sitting on your couch, your testosterone is low. Ladies, listen to me. I hear this and feel this nervousness that you feel like you've got to binge, you've got to have conversations right away. You don't want.
It's like she about to cry or some shit.
Because you feel like you need to lay down the boundaries right away because you feel like. So
I mean, she's alluding that you have bummy dudes supposedly asking for sex and they're being invasive about it. And I'm just sitting back. I'm like, why are you even putting up with this shit? But we know why they're putting up with this shit. Most likely the dude's 6'2". He has some riz in him. He's in the streets. He lives a risque lifestyle. And these women are intrigued by it. And they're doing everything in their power while holding their tongue to put up with him. To put up with his shit. To put up with his baby mama. To put up with his kids. To put up with his trifling lifestyle. And, non-select guys like me are just sitting back and we're just told by black women to shut the fuck up. Stop worrying about what we do. Just shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay. You want me to shut the fuck up? Okay, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to clown you guys for sure.
You got to let men know because they're going to pressure you to be wanting sex in the first 1 to 3 dates. I saw this.
And I'm like this. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with asking for sex? What's wrong with wanting it? We know that women, by the time a man opens his mouth, by the time a man even makes eye contact with a woman, she's already thinking whether or not she can see herself having sex with that dude. Dudes are just more honest, man. We ain't got time for this waiting. We ain't got time for this 90-day rule bullshit. And y'all took that too far, so now you're talking about y'all gonna be celibate for 10 years or for life or whatever. I'm like, come on, man, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And then at the same time, you have these females like, I almost said Sweetie, but I meant to say Sukihana or Nicki Minaj or those Bailey twins or whatever. Meg Thee Stallion and all of them constantly talking about sex. Constantly bring it up. Even these little hood rappers. These hood, black bitch rappers like Lola Brooks and motherfucking Ice Spice. You have all these women throwing sex at you. And if you don't do anything, you're lame. So I'm like, you guys have to kind of talk about other females at the same time if you're going to bring and be mad at dudes for asking the question. Because believe it or not, men are just as chastised for not bringing up sex. Or just not even having it. Or even looking like we don't have sex. Try being an educated lame and black women can't even imagine you with your shirt off.
Comment on YouTube. One lady said, Rebecca, you've been married, you ain't been in these streets, you don't know what it's like. Yes, I do. It ain't no different. Men were pressuring to have sex on the first date 10 years ago and 20 years ago. The difference is that 10, 20, 30...
I'm gonna pause this guy. I can make it long. I don't give a fuck.
50 years ago, women had moral standards. There was moral pressure in our society.
Okay, if you're saying that women have these moral standards and they were more upright than they are now, why aren't you criticizing Meg Thee Stallion? Why aren't you criticizing OnlyFans? Why are you not criticizing stripper culture? You're solely worried about men who you can easily say no to. Because let's be honest, you didn't bring up black femicide. You didn't bring up black women being killed for saying no or being rejected or angry exes or whatever. You didn't bring that up. You didn't bring that up. So if we're not talking about violence towards women, why aren't you putting pressure on these females who are becoming mainstream for being pretty much a sexual, for being a sex symbol? It ain't like Nicki Minaj is teaching modesty. It ain't like Meg Thee Stallion's teaching modesty or encouraging people to get married. And you have all these young kids and these young girls already shaking their ass, calling Glorilla a fucking role model. You ain't saying shit about that, but you worried about men asking for sex. And then you have these women who have a larger following than you, who are influencing the entire Black America. But you're so focused on black men who you can easily say no to.
That women had to hold these standards, not men. Men have never held the morals.
I know that black women ain't a black woman is not trying to say that black women held moral standards. When the fuck do you guys even hold moral standards? I can go to Mr. Palmer's page and look, even Angry Man. I can look at their fucking pages and find trifling ass women of all ages. Trifling ass black women especially. Since when the fuck do you guys ever hold a moral standard? The niggas you date are moralists. This is why you guys are being offed by these dudes. When I watch these TV1 murder mysteries, from For My Man to Fatal Attraction to Atlanta Homicide and all these other black crime shows on TV1. These dudes you date are rarely, they're rarely saints. These are niggas that were well known in the streets. These were niggas that they chose to chase and be with. And you're talking about you hold a moral standard. Now that's that bias. That's why these females are getting, these light ass sentences to where they can serve 3 years for a murder, for being an accessory to a murder. Meanwhile, a black man can be an accessory and he's gone for life. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all hold a moral compass. Get the fuck out of here.
The moral fiber of our society is not built on men, ladies. It's built on...
Oh, now you're saying it's not built on men, but you were complaining about men not building and doing X, Y, Z. Make up your mind, please.
Us. It is women who hold and toe the line with standards. And as those...
Let's just run with it. Let's just say that you guys do. Y'all are doing a terrible job. Because all we have to do is bring up your exes and your baby daddies and your type. And your type is usually not a businessman or anything positive or productive.
Standards have slipped. Now women are so confused and feel all this pressure to fit in with this backward ass society. Which is why marriage is slipping, families are slipping, especially in the black community. So guess what, lady?
Can't be mad at that. Most women really have no interest in being married. Most women black women will say that marriage is harder and tougher than being a baby mama. And there's black women who would rather be a baby mama and be a single mother than be married. So much for holding a moral compass, right? And these are black women who are, and I'm doing this on a Sunday, these are black women who are in the church right fucking now and will refuse to be married, refuse to want to be married, and refuse to even do anything for the black community. They have no problem letting the black community rot and be destroyed.
You have to toe the line. If a man brings up sex in the first whatever date you're having with him because he's leaning in that direction, you change the subject. We have the power to... Wait, if my son does not... Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta tell my son to stop calling me because he's interrupting the video. Hold on 1 second. Got a message.
Women have to toe the line, my ass.
Calling me. So guess what? You have the power. You don't have to put yourself in situations where you're pressured to have sex. You ain't got to be at his house. A man can't pressure you to have sex unless you allow him to put you in a situation to be pressured by sex. You ain't going to be pressured to have sex if you out at public places, at public restaurants, if you are
Okay, so she's really making this video because she knows that women are not as hard to get when it comes to for the select guy, for the select fuck boy. Because the select fuck boy knows that these women are easy, and he knows how to use his privileges and his advantage or his his charisma to get these females in bed at short notices. And now they're complaining to Rebecca Lynn Pope. Now she's trying to do damage control. It ain't working because you can't be because you all over the place. You're mad at the non-select guy who's on YouTube making manosphere videos and content, and then at the same time you're mad at the select fuckboy for wanting sex on the first date, and then you're trying to get women to remember their fucking feminine power to say no, and it's like they can't resist these dudes. And the black manosphere, non-select guys, we're not going to tolerate this shit any longer. We're not going to tolerate being playing second fiddle and being the rejection punching bag and being the last guy, to get what you. It's too much of a hassle. It's bad enough that black nerds don't really get to have a sex life, and that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. Everybody else can do whatever the fuck they want to get a whole phase, mess around, experiment. And then you have these dudes, these non-select dudes who just are only able to be focused on community building or a career, and they don't get a reward out of it. And if that dude is crying about he needs sex or he wants something when he does meet a female, I think a bitch should oblige because he did the XYZ. And when black men do the XYZ that these black women want, they act like it doesn't count or it doesn't matter, or they give him a new goal to accomplish. This is why black women suck at setting standards, man. You guys really do suck at it.
Requiring him to date you, you don't allow yourself to be in situations. You can't be pressured to have sex unless you allow yourself to be pressured to have sex. The real true issue is a lack of backbone and boundaries and self-worth and self-esteem. Because ladies, you should have no problem standing your ground and recognizing that out here in this current world, in this current society, there are marriage material men that you care about, and there's the other men that you don't. And any man that's trying to make you, it used to be that any man that made a woman feel uncomfortable was not considered a gentleman. We can go back to old school.
That's the problem with your 60s ass. Is that you still trying to put these old school standards in this new school society, and it's like the dudes are actually wanting to go old school. That's why you have that video of that black nerdy dude bringing flowers on a date, and he got stood up. The thing is, the so-called gentlemen are guys that you're not even fucking attracted to. And now these dudes are red pill raging because they did the XYZ. They accomplished their goals, and there's no reward at it. There's no trophy. There's no happy ending at the end. At the end of the movie, they're still back at square one, being alone. No one's counting their measurements of success. No one is monitoring them. So what's the fuck of having these fucking goals when you guys don't even fucking care about them? You expect men to be traditional and all that shit. I'm like, nobody's looking at the females. Nobody's looking at the women. Like, Sukiyana has been all over the fucking place. To the point that I almost met Sukiyana. And I don't see Iyanla Van Zandt. I don't see Rebecca Lynn Pope. I don't see Crystalline Karazin. I don't see Chrissy or no, I don't even use. I don't see these mainstream people saying anything. I don't see any of these females who do these little talk shows, these radio shows with Steve Harvey or whomever, Tom Joyner, whomever, DL Hughley. I don't see you guys talking about that shit. I don't see you talking about how women are just ungodly to the point that they're just walking around naked in stores or in the streets, and they're not even prostitutes. They're just walking around naked. You expect you expect black men to literally be chivalrous to that culture. Look how sexualized all these black female artists are. And when in the shit they're talking about running a nigga's check, taking his money, robbing him. And then in the flip side, somehow you have dudes who are making sensitive songs about breakups and all that shit, and being the man that was cheated on. How the fuck are you supposed to bring traditionalism to that? To where now guys are sounding and singing like women from the early 2000s.
A man that would make a lady feel uncomfortable in any way was not considered a gentleman.
And these days, who the fuck cares about being a fucking gentleman? How many bodies does Future have? How many bodies do these select fuck niggas have? These rappers guys have. These niggas who are in VIP with the champagne bottle for everybody. How much of a gentleman are those dudes? But they somehow get your panties wet, right? But the guy who bring flowers and who made reservations on the date, you know, has the special meal planned out for you. You guys wouldn't even show up for that dude. Hell, you guys don't even bother tracking down who the fuck was the female that stood up that homeboy, dude with the glasses. Y'all are good at finding people out of nowhere on the internet. Where are all these shade room experts, then TMZ experts now? I want to know who stood up my boy.
Guess what we're looking for? We want gentlemen.
That's cap. You guys don't want gentlemen. You guys have been fucking that up for decades. Y'all now talking about you guys want, gentlemen, guys. But then again, even if he was a gentleman, he has to be 6'2", he has to be a baller, he has to be a rapper, he has to have some type of social clout, because he can't be with no lame nigga. Because really, truth be told, if it wasn't for social media, you wouldn't find half the guys, you wouldn't even find guys attractive. You still wouldn't. So a guy would have to have a social media, because you would have to know, like, okay, does he have clout? Is he in the streets? Does he have a lot of females following him? Okay, I want to be on that train too. But if it's a dude who just has, let's say, 200 friends on Facebook, and he only has 60 followers on Instagram, and he just really just doing some lame shit like volunteering all his life and just going to work. And not really, he ain't in the club, he ain't really doing much. He's just playing games on his free time. You guys don't respect that. Women don't find that attractive. Women will easily pass him off. Even if he brags about how much money he makes. Even if he brags about he has a nice car. Even if he brags that he has his own place. Black women will just shrug their shoulders, move on to someone that's more attractive. Even if he has less than that dude.
You don't want a man pressuring you, trying to get you to do anything you don't want to do. My husband has said it a million times. He can't understand any situations where a man is doing something to a woman that she doesn't want done or she is not consenting to. He said, I can never imagine trying to force a woman to do anything that she is not willing and wanting and desiring to do. He's a gentleman.
Do you guys really believe that all these females are being forcibly? Because she's toting the line a little bit, because she wants to say that these women are being sexually assaulted, but she doesn't really want to say that. So what is going on? Is no, these females are playing coy. They're playing dumb. Miss Rebecca Lynn Pope. They're bullshitting and they're claiming that they didn't want to have sex. So pick whether or not if it was consensual or not. You can't be toting this line because I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Is it sexual assault? Was it coercion? Was it, or it was just seduction? I don't know. But you know, who are these dudes that these females are having sex with? It's not me. It's these select fuckboys.
Are still gentlemen. There are still.
This is what crazy in the fucking West is that if you type in nice guy on TikTok, you will find women, black or white, you will find women talking down about nice guys and talking about how, oh well, I met this nice guy and he was entitled and he wanted me to do this and I didn't feel comfortable and he couldn't take a no and he was crying and then he tried to use his tears and try to shame me to getting back with me. These women will these women will even do video essays on why a nice guy is a terrible person to be with. So much so that they will use the academia to prove this point. They will use TV shows. They will use their own personal accounts to talk about how nice guys are these terrible niggas and people to fuck with. And now all of a sudden you're in need of gentlemen. You're in need of guys who open the door for you. You're in need of guys who can pay the bill. And I'm like, Ray and Pookie has been getting the cooch all this time. How you gonna flip the script when he's laughing at you, trying to hold up this standard, and he fucking knows that you wouldn't last. Your celibacy will only last for like 2 weeks, cause he hit that bitch multiple times. He knows that by Saturday, 3 a.m., you're gonna come in with your flip flops and your loafers and your bathrobe on, and you're gonna whip out the sexy lingerie. Please, like who are y'all fooling? Maybe some naive, educated lame who never had any, a dude who never could never get sex, and gullible church women who want to be able and have the courage to reject Ray and Pookie but can't. Yeah, who are you fooling, Rebecca?
Good men, marriage material men. Now this is something I said in class that you're not going to hear. It's got to come from a wife. When you meet them, they are not your fine-ass peacock city dudes who are running through women like crazy. This came up in class.
All right, I'm back. Let me.
Husbands are built different. It's not always gonna be your super fly, super handsome, super sexy. Ooh, he's got swag for days, and he looks good.
You see, I'll take it that Rebecca Lynn Pope, was probably raised correctly. Granted, I'm aware that she had her whole phase. But, you're trying. This is the same approach that Crystalline Carrison was trying to do with black women, and that failed miserably. To where she was trying to get black women to date these. You gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta be respectable. You gotta do this. You gotta be in these circles. You gotta lose the weight. You gotta get some decor about you. She did the same shit. You have to be used to these men liking things that aren't black. She tried it. It didn't work. Rebecca Lynn Pope, it's just she's like those moms of non-select guys, to where they just really don't understand how their son is like chronically single, and it's like he's a good guy. He works. He's He works. He's making good money, and he's 34 and he has no children. And I don't understand why women aren't flocking. Like he's a good man. Like I don't understand what's wrong with him. And you kind of just realize that women just don't find that shit attractive or appealing. As much as they cry about men needing money, men needing their own, like they really don't give a shit. Unfortunately, they just don't. And like I said, man, you will see women's true nature once you see the lifestyle of a non-select guy and see how all the goals and how all the education and doing X Y Z really doesn't get you anywhere.
Dresses fine and he smells good and he's this and he's that. Those dudes know that they're the hot commodity. They in these.
Trust me, black women know that if they got with non-select guys, that they would be easily wifed and they would be taken care of. They know this. The thing is, they don't care to do it now. And probably, truth be told, they probably don't even care to do it ever. Black women, trying to get a black woman to be a wife is a taxing job. I'll even give Rebecca Lynn Pope the credit. Like, she is probably stressed the fuck out trying to get black women to actually practice what they preach, because they're crying all the time about men, blah blah blah. They ain't doing this. They don't act right. They don't do the X Y Z that they should. And I can guarantee you, no matter how high class these women are, they're always chasing after Ray Ray and Pookie. And I can bet you Rebecca Lynn Pope is wasting so much time to where she probably has like a whole book on how to keep a marriage. She has like books that are like level 50 in marriage, but she's just stuck on like she's stuck on like the grounds, like level 0. Not even, she's stuck on the tutorials for black women to get in the game. And it's like, how the fuck are you not understanding the tutorials? I'm giving you all the answers. X is the kick. Square is the reaction button. Like you can't lose, but they're losing.
Even at 60 years old, they in these streets. They still running through women because they know that they're in demand. They out here being a whole hoe at all these different ages. But ladies, you're attracted to those men because what? They see they got some money. They look good.
These women know that these niggas don't have no fucking money. These women know. So don't, because this is a confusing thing in the black community, because black women want to infuse the idea that attractiveness equals money. And it's like, it doesn't. Like, just because the nigga is like 6'2" doesn't mean he making 6 figures. It's like, black women really want a nigga fit, attractiveness and wealth. And it's not hand in hand. And that's why these females are letting these dudes stay in the crib and are paying these dudes rent and doing all this shit for these dudes. Meanwhile, there's a non-select guy who isn't going to get any coochie until he's probably like 40, until she turns into a Rebecca Lynn Pope and he has to hope that she ain't got no kids, or that she's, that despite all the run-through dudes that was in her, that she can magically turn herself into a housewife at 40. Like, this is a stupid deck that we're given in the black community.
Brittany says, you told us you elevated your husband. That's what wives do. Any relationship, any marriage you look at now and you see a husband that's looking good, you see a husband that's fine, you see a husband that's dressing his butt off, right? That is the wife's influence that is having that husband look like that. That's what wives do. We upgrade our men while they're working hard. They don't have time to be thinking about GQ swaggy clothes.
I mean, is Rebecca Lynn Pope living in like a bizarro world? Because even in the bizarro world, black women will probably be a lot nicer, and they're probably the nicest women on earth. I mean, these chicks these days don't even want to cook. So even if they are married, like I just don't get it.
Looking, why? It is women. Women. This is our influence on men. We care more about emotional intelligence, mental health, spiritual well-being, the physical well-being of the family and the children has always fallen back on women. While men are out here conquering the world to make their money so they can provide for their families, women have more of the role of the emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being of the family. That has always been our influence. We are nurturing by nature. And this stuff has gotten so turned around. So understanding, ladies, when you start to feel like, oh, Rebecca, there was one lady in class, Brittany, you said it. You were talking about how do you get out of feeling like a scarcity mindset or feeling like these fears because it just seems like she lives in Atlanta and all these men and they're all just like not faithful and just the nick.
Okay, black women, please, Rebecca, you need to learn how to ask the hard questions. Ask these women, like I said before, ask the question, what was the non-select nerdy dude, what do you think the non-select nerdy dude that you know from high school or even from college, what do you think he's doing now? And if he's not doing anything, let's just say he's working, let's say you know he's doing good. If you think and you strongly believe that dude is single and not doing anything, be his wife. I'm so tired of this bullshit of black women acting like, oh my God, there's no good black men out here, and I'm just like sitting here like, I'm over here, and then it's like, oh no, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're just going to be in our little single phase, a little, we're doing our little self journey. Okay, just say that you're going back to the streets. Okay, you don't have to insult my intelligence with this bullshit, this new age bullshit of self journey and all that shit. You guys want to go right back to the streets and then cry again about how black men ain't doing the X, Y, Z that you want them to do, that I'm already doing. But hey, whatever.
It's so toxic and it's so discouraging, and you just feel like how am I gonna meet a good man? How am I gonna meet a husband? Because he ain't gonna be one of these city peacocks. He is going to be one of those men that gets overlooked.
But black women can't do that. Black women can't date guys that no female wants. That's the thing. They're not going to do it, because if even if he's making millions, let's say he's making just any good old amount of money, they're not going to do it. If one female, and that's the stupid thing. It literally takes one female to do it, and then they'll probably all want him by then. But it's like, it's tough. It's tough. It's fucking tough. Be trying to hold that one chick will take the bait, and it's like they're not gonna do it. And it's like it's such a lame. It's so lame to wait for them to take the bait, and they're not gonna fucking do it.
He's gonna be a man that you're the prize, ladies. You're the prize. This stuff has not changed. All this rhetoric and craziness on the internet makes you want to think it's changed. I said it in class. Carrie Pope is very handsome. Carrie Pope is very handsome, but he ain't as pretty as me. Stop and think about that, ladies. To the man who falls in love with you, you're still the catch. The dynamic in a healthy relationship is when the man is actually, you are the prize to him. That's how men want to feel. That they feel like, oh my God, she is the best thing ever. I can't believe this. She's my wife. I can't believe that I got her. That they have a feather in their cap. Their chest is stuck out, walking, holding your hand. That's how a man wants to feel. And now we got all these sissy boys running around talking about, I'm the prize. Talking about, what do you bring to the table? These are sissy boys. These.
I kind of wish that she would get canceled, like how the trans women are canceling Just Hilarious, because I'm kind of tired of black women using these whole gay shaming tactics. It's so lame. It's so goofy. Oh, you niggas are gay. Y'all niggas are so sassy on the internet. Y'all are so bitch made. It's like, yeah, you say that now, but eventually, that LGBT community is gonna get you like they get people who piss off Jews and shit. They're gonna fucking get you. So bask in it now. But hey, don't get mad when the real sissy boys get you canceled.
Men and young men and boys who have no intention. They have no value around marriage. They have no.
But funny thing about the so-called sissy boys who aren't sissy boys, the funny thing about them is that they have kids. They have no problem getting women. And they ain't gotta do no shit like get a job, or even have money to even get the XYZ from women. I guess the sissy boys are winning.
Value around family structure. God is not at the center of their universe. God is not at the center of their core of building.
Who said black women were the center of God's universe? Shit. Y'all are some of the most ungodly women out there. Y'all talking all this celibacy shit now, but it's like, let's just be honest with you. With the low marriage rates, you think the majority of black women would wait to give it up until marriage? Hell no.
Community, family is still the core of our community. Family unit is still the core. And these men who are talking about what she bring to the table, besides, I can pay for that, I can pay for this. It's all BS. These are not marriage material men. These are not husbands. You have never heard a man, a strong, high testosterone man who provide. What are his priorities? God, family, faith, legacy, financial stability, taking care of his family, his reputation, his income. This is what men, strong men, are all about. You ain't talking about what you bring to the table. They're literally saying, I'm ready to come home and eat at the table that you've cooked some food to provide for because I don't work so hard. Men, strong, high testosterone men, are providers and protectors. Mm-hmm. You don't hear R.C. Blake's talking about what you bring to the table. What did my wife bring to the table when I met her? You don't hear, guys, give me some comments on some strong men you know that obviously you know are good men, good husbands and fathers, men that you want this type of man to be the father of your children. This is the husband, Tony Gaskins. In the comments, Tony Gaskins, right? He ain't asking his wife, what do you bring to the table? Right? Steve Harvey, what do you bring to the table? Your strong backbone, high testosterone, Dr. Tart. They ain't asking what you bring to the table. They fall in love with a woman for her beauty, her brains, her femininity, her essence, her love, her spirit.
What's crazy is that Rebecca Lynn Pope talks as if black women or even feminine by default. Like dudes literally have to fucking retrofit black women to be feminine to her. It's like we've been literally begging them to be wear their natural hair for 40 years. We've been begging them to lose weight. We've been begging them to let go of ditch the goofy witchcraft nails and all that shit. It's like like you really this chick is just naive, man. It's like sometimes you just wonder, like, isn't she in Atlanta? Like you should be seeing the goofiness of these broads, whether she's living in a mansion or not. Like you can't be this damn disattached to reality, especially in Black America.
Her soul, and simply by essence of who she is, they elevate a man's life. I elevate Carrie's life. I believe in him. I'm his best friend. I'm his soulmate. I'm his partner. I'm there for him when all the chips are down. I'm believing in him, backing him up. This is the stuff you can't buy. That's what a good man, a strong man, a Torrey Roberts, yes, right? That's what a husband, David Burris, thank you, yes. And guess what? Do you notice that all the men we just named are married? They're married. They know what they're talking about when they're talking about, because guess what? And they're preaching and teaching to mostly women, because women will listen, because women are the backbone of our society and community. We influence the men.
And y'all been doing and y'all are complaining about the very creations that y'all have that y'all have made. Y'all are crying about unmotivated men, practically unmotivated, attractive men. And these dudes know that when they're attractive, they don't have to do the XYZ. The XYZ is for non-select guys. This is why you tell non-select guys to make all this money, and when these non-select guys tell their story, they're saying, "Oh yeah, I was tricked by this woman. She told me that I needed to do this, pay for this, and then she never gave up any ass. She never went on any dates, but she kept asking me to pay all these bills and take on the responsibility, and she never picked up the phone. She never called me back." Meanwhile, the select fuckboy, he's sitting back like, "Yeah, I got a free crib. I get to drive her car. I ain't gotta do shit." And when you're mad, are black women serious? Are they fucking mad about the very creation of men that they created? Come on.
We influence the men. We have power in our boundaries, our standards. Whatever you allow, men have all.
The thing is this video is really just tough talk of them wanting to say no to Pookie and Ray. And this is why Rebecca Lynn Pope is not trying to say that this is sexual assault or this is the R word or whatever. Because she knows it's consensual. She knows that women are not being forced to fucking have sex with Ray Ray and Pookie. These women are not forced to have his baby. These women are willing to give it up. The thing is, a lot of people, especially black men, are guilt tripping them about sleeping with Ray Ray and Pookie.
He's gotten away with whatever you allow. When I met my husband.
That's why her wording is so weird, because she knows that these women are not being taken advantage of. They're willingly giving it up.
Wasn't from the city. Always had lived out in the country. Southern gentleman, hard-working man. I said, God done saved you for me right here. Yeah, a bullet, a ram in the bush, just waiting, holding my blessing for me. Ladies, listen to me. When you meet him, he may be a little bit of a work in progress. He may be a little bit of a project. He may have to hand you that credit card to you revamp his whole closet. Right? That's what wives do. Hello.
See, and the problem with this is that she's contradicting herself, because earlier she was talking about she don't like peacock men. She don't like men aren't supposed to be pretty. And now later in the video, she's talking about how, once you find your little Prince Charming, take his credit card, go shopping, and pick out some nice suits for him. I mean, I don't mind that, but I'm just saying, like, even women like her can't resist the fact that she has to have a dude that women will feel jealous about. And I can pretty much assure you that her husband is not non-select. He's a select guy, or just an average guy. He isn't like. Hell, let me just look him up. Fuck, I'm gonna look him up on my phone. Rebecca Lynn Pope. Husband. I hate when. Okay. Is that her? Yeah, her husband's taller than her too. So again, he's fit. I mean, he's not non-select. It's just that I can tell he's a country ass dude. But it's like he's not like a dude. He's just like he looks like a regular, like a Michael Basin type nigga. So it's like yeah, I mean yeah, like this isn't a dude. He's not non-select. He's not non-select. So, but even like again, even with her saying all that shit, she still wants a dude that women will feel jealous of. But here's the thing: a lot of black women aren't going to take that and try to upgrade the non-select dude. They're not even going to touch him even to begin with. So hold your fucking breath, as if black women are going to really make any power moves in the dating game. Nope, they're going to keep falling on their little head.
It's me saying, baby, I think you should get braces. That one tooth that kind of overlaps another one a little bit. We can get that all straightened out, right? Gary looks better now than he's ever looked in his life. He would never have taken the time to do that. That's not a high priority to a hard working, high testosterone man. He's not around here trying to be pretty. He ain't over here trying to be swaggy. Their focus and priorities are on work, provision.
And see that's that mental slavery that black women want to put on dudes, is that you just work to death. That's why she's advocating for men to just not even really show up in the household. I mean, come back to sleep, but let her tell it. Black men need to be working 100 hours a fucking day. I mean, a week, and then, like I said before, in her mind, black men only need to be in the house only for water and sleep. Don't ask for nothing else, man. That's because she wants the whole goddamn house to herself. She wants to play around. She just want to do nothing, and she wants the responsibility to do nothing.
Reputation, purpose, God, family. Ladies, the aesthetics, this is what we bring to the table. So when you go on dates and a man starts bringing up sex in the first few dates, you don't have to respond to that. You stay in your power. Oh, how's the weather today?
You know damn well black women don't talk like that.
I'm really looking forward to it. You're a lady. You don't even have to go down to that level. And if he doesn't take a hint, if he isn't smart enough or wise enough to take the hint that you're not going there, you block him and you stop talking to him. It's that simple.
Oh, they can't live with that. They can't live with the idea of him going to another woman.
A situation, we're in a current state of things where, ladies, you're scared. It's like you're scared. You're scared of, that a man won't like this. You're scared that you'll scare off a man. You're scared you can't get a good man. Like, can I tell you something? That's what I said in class the other night. good men feel just as overlooked as you. Because, ladies, we tend to go running behind the peacocks.
Why don't you worry more about the peacocks? Why don't you worry more about those dudes than the internet trolls or whatever? Why don't you worry about them? Because that's what we're worrying about them too. So we can have a mutual agreement. But you can't get these females off of Ray Ray and Pookie. And like I said before, it's not about the money. It's solely about the looks. It's solely about sex. And you know it. That's why you couldn't label the sexual interaction as sexual assault. You didn't give it the R word. You didn't label it as anything bad. Because you know these women are willingly having sex with these dudes. It's their own guilt. It's their guilt that they're giving it up so easily to these dudes. And then guys like us, who are like, hey, we don't have a lot of bodies. We're working hard. We got this going on, that going on, and they feel guilted because we did everything that they wanted men to do, and that they're mad and they're upset that we are challenging them back, and we're saying like, hey, you owe us. You told us that you needed us back in the community. You needed us to do X, Y, Z. How come we're not getting the X, Y, Z? How come men who are not doing the X, Y, Z, or men who aren't working, who aren't trying to build, who aren't trying to better the community, how come those guys are still rewarded? How come those guys are still having babies? How come those guys are getting your box? And it's like, instead of just calling them peacocks, just call them Ray Ray and Pookie. Stop giving these niggas grace.
Overlook the good man who may not be all swaggy. He might have a little bit, 10, 15 pounds he needs to lose. We overlook the good man who will love you and honor you.
Black women don't want love, and they damn sure don't want no fucking honor.
That's when I stopped matchmaking. And anybody who's heard my story, if you really listen to what I'm saying, when I met Carrie, I realized that my current matchmaking clients, my female matchmaking clients, would have never even gone on a date with Carrie. And that's when I said, this man is a catch. He's a wonderful man. I knew it.
Honestly, I'm going to theorize this, that there was a lawsuit. I want to theorize this, that he paid thousands of dollars for her matchmaking, because this shit ain't cheap. Even if it wasn't even her, matchmaking in general is like $5,000 to $8,000 for just simply consultation and all that shit. It ain't like some shit like you. It ain't cheap. I'll just say that. And this dude probably was like, man, I done paid this bitch thousands of dollars. I'm gonna hit this bitch with a lawsuit. That ain't fucking right. That I did XYZ, did the XYZ, did more XYZ, and I ain't got shit. And he probably tried to sue her ass, and she probably just kind of cop and plead. She was like, maybe she was like, oh no, please don't do this because it'll fuck up my reputation. And he probably was like, I like you. I know that it's not you, it's the women. Can I get my money back? Okay, here's your money back. Just don't say anything. And that's probably what happened. I can probably bet you that's what happened.
Very beginning, and I thought to myself, these women wouldn't even go on a date with him. They would totally reject Carrie in a heartbeat.
I ain't know there ain't no nigga named Carrie.
This is a problem in this business model. My definition of good man is different than what these women are looking for.
Yeah, because black women have no interest in marriage. That's why I kind of look at these so-called black matchmakers like weird, because I'm like, they're not looking for marriage. You might as well be pairing up people just for sex. Truth be told, or even baby mama pairing. I'm just saying, it's like I don't. That's why you guys are KOing yourselves out of business, because these women are not looking for marriage, and that you're gonna have these guys red pill raging because these dudes are fucking paying thousands of dollars and getting nothing out of it. And they're looking at now this dude, Kerry, supposedly his name is now looking at Ray Ray and Pookie, the guy who doesn't have money, and Ray Ray and Pookie probably is this boy's janitor at his business. And he's wondering why this so-called lesser man is getting more attention, and he's not even doing the XYZ that his mama told him to do. And his mama was probably telling him, "Hey, young man, this is how you treat a lady. You need to, take good care of her, open doors, help her out financially, XYZ, take care of, if you get her pregnant, you better take care of that baby." And then he's just doing it. He's just bobbing his head up and down. He's like, "Yes, mama. Yes, mama. Yes, mama. I will do that, mama." Yep. And then he ends up realizing that these women are just running through him. Cause I can probably bet you, if this dude was lame enough to even pay thousands of dollars for a matchmaker, good chance when he was an entry level dude, he probably wasn't making no money either. I mean, no. He wasn't getting. When he was an entry level guy, I mean, he probably wasn't getting women. I didn't mean to say money. I meant to say women. He probably wasn't getting those women either. So, because he probably thought, "Oh, okay, the women weren't into me because I'm this entry level worker. I'm only making 48, and he's probably thinking that's no money." And then he realized, "Oh wow, I'm making 80." And now he's thinking that, "Oh, I'm at the position," and then he probably realized that the women weren't even watching his ass. You non-select guys have to realize that women are not watching you.
I don't have any business in this business because I can't meet their expectations because they want to pay me to be matched with some peacocks. They want to pay me, and like I'm saying to you, apples and oranges, husband material versus these peacocks.
And this is the silly thing. Come on, man. Come on, Rebecca Lynn Pope. You really think 1 in 4 black women ever being married is a fault of men? No, this is their choice. If it was the fault of men, it would have been at least 50-50. It would have been at least, the marriage rate would have been like 50-50 at least. But when you have 3/3 of black women not married, good chances is that they don't want to be married.
Apples and oranges. You're not paying me to give you more heartbreak. I'm not going to set you up with more disappointment and heartbreak. All these men are going to do is run through you, spin you around, have you chasing them, all upset, heartbroken, spinning tails, lying to you, getting between your legs, and you hurt even more. I want women to get back into their feminine power. Okay? Feminine power.
They can't do it.
Understanding that by nature of who God created us to be is where our power lies. Our feminine power. Men just want to be around us. They need a soft place to land. They want love, understanding,
I'm trying to scroll down.
passion. All my sons are calling me while I'm doing my video. So this is just a reminder. This is just a recap from some of the things I was thinking about from class.
Surprised I ain't got no reactions.
Do not.
I know she saw the comment.
Give in to the pressures of this.
You want to know how? I want to know.
Do not give in to the pressures of trying to fit into this backward society that has no morals and no standards. Okay. Stand your ground. Stand Still need to date.
Okay, she started noticing them a month ago.
Still need to date. Still need to get comfortable dating. But with your standards and boundaries. All right? I love you guys. Blessings in abundance.
But overall, we know that black women aren't going to do this. And these dating coaches are gonna KO themselves because black women reality don't want anything. They just want someone's money, and they don't really care about the connections. And black women honestly are just soulless fucking beings. They're soulless. You can continue to raise your sons to be upright gentlemen, and like I said before, I can bet you Rebecca Lynn Pope's sons are not taking home black women. I can bet you that. That's why she didn't say shit. And that's why she intentionally skipped that part. Because if they were dating black women, she would say, oh, my sons, they're talking to 3 beautiful black women. One of them's a business owner. The other one's an AKA. Another one studying nursing. She would have been bragging about their little choices. But they weren't. But she didn't, though. They tell on themselves, man. But I'm hoping that Rebecca Lynn Pope will make a reaction to at least my comments to address this shit, because I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm just trying to say, like, hey, be honest. And black women are not going to date men off of character, goodwill, or even money from a legal standpoint. Black women would rather take $2,000 a month illegally from someone than fucking $6,000 a month legally from a husband or someone they're seeing. They don't respect. They've been saying this, that they don't respect 9-to-5 guys. They've been saying that they don't respect men who work. They've been saying this. And this is a product of your teachings. This is a product of your parenting. That you have women who just don't give a fuck. This is your parenting of women. This is your result of women, young girls, who are emotionally inept. To where that they're having men cry and be frustrated, and women just sit there with a hard stare of nothingness. You created these women. And now that we know black men are SYSBM, we're passport bros, don't get mad and stop fucking calling us. Stop fucking calling us. Stop doing this. I know I spelled her name wrong. Trying to find that shit. Oh, here we go. Please don't give me no commentary. Let me see. I saw it earlier. Fuck. Fuck. And black women expecting, and we already know black women are not godly people, so cut that shit out. Fuck it. I can't find it. But,
This night is for my kings.
No! God, please, no! No!
Black men, we love you. We hear you. And throughout the
I'll just play it from the fucking. I'll just play this version.
This night is for my kings.
No! God, please, no! No!
Black men, we love you. We hear you. And throughout the show, we're going to celebrate you. You look good. Teaming up. Pink, all that melanin. Yes, I love it.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
You get bullshit appreciation. You get an ambiguous reward, an ambiguous appreciation. And the thing is, it don't even translate to real life. You are unappreciated. You are unfucking wanted, and and they know it. They fucking know it. They give you the worst options to deal with. They give you the biggest middle finger. And every so often, every 2 to 3 years, there's some celebrity or there's some poet crying about black men. We need you back in the community to do the X, Y, Z. And it's like, nah, not interested. I've been called in so many fucking times. I don't get an appreciation. I don't get a fucking plaque. And fuck all that shit anyways. I want fucking you. I want you in the bedroom. I want you to be the wife. And that's so hard to ask for. And that's why we're done. We're fucking done trying. We're fucking done trying to work it out. We're so fucking done trying to get you in this position. You're ungrateful. You're not a day one. You're not someone. You're not someone to even be appreciated. Who deserves appreciation. You don't deserve the wait. You don't deserve the best of us. You don't deserve black men, and we're fucking done with you.